Hi and welcome. Today I have a art tag for you, kind of grungy. I start with one I cut on my Cricut out of Bristol smooth paper. You use what you have, make your own, buy them, anything works. I'm gonna start with stamping. I'm using this stamp, one of my favorites, from Faded Type, and I'm just kind of going right down the left side, stamping portions freehand all the way down. And normally I should have used my static cling on this tag because it is on I cut it on my Cricut, which has a sticky surface, and I think that helps promote the stickiness of the embossing powder. So I'm using some embossing powder, black, and I see right away, oh no, this is a disaster. It's going everywhere, and that's terrible. So I'm like debating, do I start over? Because you can wipe it all off. But I'm like, well, let me just see. So I get off what's from the edges, and then I think, well, I really want to go for a old paper grungy look, and I might just try to go with it and see where it goes. I do that a lot. Let's just go with it and see where it goes. And sometimes it's some of my best pieces. Embossing powder is always, not always, sometimes it's a mess, especially when you have a full jar. And I always have to clean it up because I can't stand it on my mat. I always have to get a new piece of paper because I can't stand it on the paper. Anyway, so I'm going to emboss it with my heat tool. And I'm just going to let it be grungy. And it does kind of look like an old copy that just got all messed up or was on a bad printer or something. I don't know, but I kind of liked it. So I'm adding some old paper. It's my go-to to make a page not white, unless I'm adding a color. But my plan here was to make a neutral background and kind of add color on top of it, which really is my life. I am very a neutral girl. Oh, did you see that? I messed up the corner there. Well, I'm gonna really play into that. But on with my story. I kind of a neutral girl. Even my furnishings are very neutral, and I add color with accessories or just things that can change out easily. I change my mind about color too often. Okay, so I've added old paper. Sorry for the sidetrack. And I decide I really want to enhance or well, maybe enhance is the right word. The crease that I put in the bottom, I'm gonna really make it more pronounced by folding it and adding some vintage photo. But I'm doing that after I do this splatter. Now splatter, let it dry. Just getting over a bout with some bronchitis, so my throat is kind of sounding funny. Okay, so here I'm gonna add vintage photo to the edges, and I'm going to put it on that crease, and then I'm gonna make another crease. Let's just really go for it, So I'm just gonna fold it right on the crease I have, and then I'm going to make another one. And I tend to make my folds going the same way. Now it looks like it was intentional. This is a really easy piece. Be great for beginners. So I'm taking this piece. I'll have the link in the description. It's actually it's like a birth month picture of a flower, and I just fussy cut the flower out of it. And it kind of looked vintagey. So I'm making it high enough that you can kind of see the crease at the bottom. That's why I'm moving my ephemera up. Normally I have it down the bottom corner, but I'm bringing them up, and I'm also adding a Tim Holtz number strip, which I add another crease. So already I'm gluing down. See how quick this piece is? This would be a nice gift if you needed to make a whole bunch of them, because they go fast, but yet it looks like you really put a lot of effort into it. Again, placing it so I see the crease at the bottom, a little of the texture embossed on the bottom, or the embossing text on the bottom. You could cut that excess off if you want. You could trim it to where it's just a shorter leaf. I'm just going to leave it. I am going to add two things. I'm going to add a ribbon, which I'm doing now, and I'm going to add some of my age tape. Oh, I stopped my ribbon to go to the age tape. I made this last week, so I'm recording now, and so I'm not always sure what order I did things in. So I'm going to add a little bit of tape to the areas that are creased that maybe they just kind of got ripped a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit down at the bottom. I normally like to go in 3s, but it's not a rule. There are no rules, so I'm only doing 2. Okay, now I'm going to do the ribbon, and I'm pretty sure I do Vintage Photo and Kitsch Flamingo, I think. This ribbon is really great because it keeps the color nice, and it kind of gets crinkly, which I like. And it's available in my Amazon shop if you're interested. You don't pay any more, and I get a tiny bit of commission. So there's my vintage photo. I'm going to use Oxide Kitsch Flamingo. That'll help with the oxide will look a little chalky. Not so much on the ribbon, probably, but it just helps to make it look a little more aged. So I just kind of run it around there, wadding it up, keep it in a wadded ball to dry it. And after that, I'm all done. I have some final pictures coming up. If you have not subscribed, I invite you to do that. If you like this piece, give me a thumbs up or maybe leave me a comment. Either way. So I do have pictures coming up, final pictures coming up, but you guys have a wonderful day.